Alright guys, today we're going to install some fire mounting halos on a 2022 Renegade XMR. Rumor is adds 10 horsepower to the wheel. Alright, so opening the package, this is what you're going to find. These are the Chasing Halos 2.0s. And they are Bluetooth controlled. So there's your brains. This is where all the lights are going to plug into. It's also going to go to the power. And you've got 4 halos. Comes with some stickers, some clear adhesive, so clear JB weld, and a little light switch, which we're not going to use that. Get into the install. Just go quickly over the basics on how this works. So we'll start right down at the end. Your power, so you've got your positive and your negative connections. You've got an inline fuse, so if you do choose to go right to the battery terminals, I guess you can, because you are protected with the fuse. I'm not going to be using this. I will show you the different options of hooking them up though. Goes down and you get to the brains. This is where your phone and your app is going to connect to. These are the Chasing 2.0 Bluetooth series. So you use your phone and an app to connect to this guy through Bluetooth, and you're going to be able to change I don't know how many different options. You can have each one of these lights a different color on your bike. You can have them all the same. You can have them swirling. You can have them strobing. You can do whatever, but that's all going to be done through the app. App connects to this guy. Then it goes down to your connections. You've got 6 of them, and that might confuse you a little bit. Depending on what model of bike you're getting, these halos for, you might only have 2 halos. You might have 4, but either way, there's 6 of these. 4 of them are going to be for your halos. The 2 last ones, which when I connect them, I use the 2 shortest ones and I leave those ones blank. They're for add-ons. So I think Fire Mounting also has rock lights, and I think they have whips too. So they'll connect to your other 2 ports, and they'll tie into the system too. So you can change colors, and you can have them do all the little cool things that it does, strobing or switching or whatever they do. We'll go over that kind of stuff once we get them installed. Yeah, so your lights are going to connect to these, and then you're good to go. On this guy here, there is a little barcode. If you use your camera and take a picture of it, it will send you to the App Store, and you will be able to download the program that you use for this. Otherwise, I think if you search for B606 in the App Store, you will be able to find the app for it. So I'm going to show you 3 different options for power supply. You've got, number 1, you can tie into your cigarette lighter. That's what us old people call it. I don't know what other people call it, 12-volt accessories. Anyway, you can tie into this. This power is only on when your bike is on. So if you tie directly into this without a switch, your halos will come on when you start the bike up. They will shut off when you shut the bike down. No switch needed. Option number 2 is connecting directly to your battery. If I can get my seat off. Look how nice and clean this bike is. 1.5 kilometers on this bad boy. Okay, you can go directly to your positive and negative terminals with it because, like I said, you got a built-in fuse. All right, that's gonna protect you. So you can go directly positive, negative. You can put your brains up here as long as the cables, which I think they will, reach from here back down to the brains. You can tie it up nicely in here, easy access, and boom, you're done. Now, problem is, if you hook it up here, you have to put your switch in, because as soon as you connect here, that's gonna be constant power. So this is where I say you're actually gonna need some extra wire. What you're gonna have to do is connect positive, negative, run it up to your on and off here, okay? And that will, if I can push the button, okay, there we go. That'll turn the power on, turn the power off, okay? The 3rd one on there, I believe, is just a ground, probably for the light in the switch. I'm not running that, so you're on your own if you want to switch. But yeah, so like I said, if you use this option, you have to have a switch because this will be constant power. Third option, which is the one I'm probably going to go with because I like the fact that CanAm thought of us, is that CanAm for the last at least couple years have been nice enough to supply an extra power on switch wire. So they're in behind, I believe it's right in behind here where the fuse box is. There should be a wire just hanging there. Looks like something should be plugged into it, but it's not. And that is basically the same thing as this. So I don't have to splice into this and worry about doing anything wrong there. So it's probably the option I'm gonna do. It's the option I've used on the Outlander. It's the option that we used on the Maverick. And I just like the simple fact that they supplied that, they thought of this. So you could use that for anything that you wanna run power to for, let's say your lights, extra lights that you want. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So I will rip this off, which is nice and easy. You've got two plugs here you're gonna pull out. You know what? You can trust me on this, it's easy. Pull the two plugs out. You've got one that's gonna slide out here, and you're just gonna reef up on this, and I'm gonna need two hands. But yeah, we're gonna get that off. I'll be back in a second. Once you get that panel off, if you check out your fuse box here, right down underneath it, you feel around, you're gonna see this guy. This is what I was talking about. It's a little spare wire that CanAm thoughtfully put aside for us so that we can run auxiliaries. I don't know if you have the right tool, but you could actually cut your wires. Cut your wires off here and put them in here, and you've actually got the plug for it. I don't have that tool, and to be honest, I'm cutting it off here. Cutting it off here, and I'm gonna just solder the connections together. And if I need to add something to the power after, I'm just gonna have to peel it back and splice them and add them in. But that's the option I like to use. Like I said, all three options do work. If you want your halos coming on and turning off every time you start your bike, you'll want to use either this option or this option. Now you can use these options with a switch as well. I'm just not going to do it. One thing I like to do before I get started with the install is I like to test them out. Not that they're never working, but I like to make sure that they are working before I install, because if I get everything done and something's not working, then I know for sure it's, well, install error and not the halos. So what I typically like to do is hook them all up to a 12-volt battery tender, and we got positive to positive, negative to negative. Got all your lights plugged into the brains, and then hopefully you plug it in. And we got light. So now we know everything's working, and if I get them installed and they're not, then it's probably me. So game plan, we are going to loosen these bezels up enough that we can drop it down and get in behind to loosen the headlights out. I believe these are T30s here. I might have said T27s before. I'm pretty sure these are T30s. You got one here, 10 mil on the back, one here. Underneath this plastic you're gonna have to peel off, so a sticker, and then glue it back on when you're done. You've got a another T30 here with a 10 mil on the back. A little funky to get to, but you can get it. Then in behind, you've got 3 gold screws here. You have 2 here and 1 up top, and I think they're 7 mils. Once you release those 3, this one, you got a few tabs up top here. Should snap down at a place, and you should be able to drop this down low enough that you can access the back of these guys here, and unscrew them enough that you can just push them in, get your wire up in, get them in place, put them all back together, glue them, and then while these are drying, you can start wiring. got our headlight disconnected. You can see we've got it dropped down enough now that we can unscrew the top screw in each headlight. So there's 4 screws on each headlight holding it in place. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. So by rights, if we unscrew the 2 top ones here, here, and right here, we should be able to get these in far enough that we can run our wire up, through, and tuck it in. This is what I'm thinking now that we've loosened them. I only had to loosen one on here to get enough gap. This one here, I actually had to take the top 2 out and loosen the bottom one just to get enough gap. So the wires on these 2.0s are a little thicker than the old ones. So that's it. We're going to put the halos up, get the wires through, and get everything mounted again. One thing I should mention, when you are installing these, make sure that all your wires, I mean, if you do it this way, you do it this way, if you find your own way to do it. But always make sure your wires are coming up in the same direction. So if you're gonna mount them with the wire going up, mount them all going up. Don't mount them all sideways, because what will happen is, it's your point of start when you have a pattern going on. So if you choose to have chasing halos, so they're all going in this direction, they'll always start where the wire is. So if you install one over here and you install one down here, they're all going to be chasing at different patterns. So it's just something that would bug me, that's for sure. The halos are drying a little bit. I'm going to start running the wire. Originally I was going to put the brains here just for easy access, but I mean, everything is easy access on this bike. It's not like the Outlander, everything just pops off. So instead of running wires back and forth all over the place, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the brains down up in here, and I'm going to run the power through here, connect it here, and yeah, then all the lights are just right here. Everything is boom. So, new plan. Yeah, just thinking about it as I'm doing it. Just running wires back and forth just doesn't make any sense. So, let's do that. All done. We've got it all connected here, all soldered. Power runs through under the horn, and we're just going to bundle everything right up in here. are back in. We got power running from the extra 12 volt underneath the horn. We've got the brains sitting here. Everything else strapped in. And I think we're ready to piece her back together. There we go. Halo's in. Everything's back together. We are good to go. Any questions? Leave them down in the comments. See if I can answer them. Thanks for watching.